and welcome to today's special history edition of News Channel 13 On Demand. Anchor Graham Miller is here today to talk about the Safavid Empire with special guests such as Jake Horton, Julia Warren, Laura Drobin, and Dionysia Kavaris. First up, Jake Horton here to report the social aspects of the Safavid Empire.
So, Jake, how is Safavid society structured?
The society had no true social structure. According to the Quran, which was the main religious book of that time, all men are created equally.
Well, what did that mean for women?
The women were not equal to the men. They were not put down, but they had to work around the house and take care of the men and their families. In addition, they could not own property.
What social classes existed and how were they sorted?
The social classes were made up based on importance. At the top was a king or ruler, then religious leaders and nobles, followed by warriors, peasants and merchants, and finally slaves.
What did they do with their conquered people? Did they have slaves?
The conquered people were converted to Islam, if not already, and they had to pay a religious tax. And yes, some captured people were made slaves.
Well, that's all the time we have today. Thanks, Jake.
Alright, thank you for your time.
Thanks again to Jake Horton. Next up, Julia Warren, expertise on the intellectual aspects of the Safavid Empire.
What type of literature did they have? Poems or holy books?
Well, archaeologists have actually discovered that a lot of Persian poetry was written during the Safavid Empire. Many of these poems reflected personal, religious thoughts.
Was education valued?
There were actually many Persian, Islamic schools of thought. They taught philosophy and literacy in these schools.
How did the members of the empire express themselves artistically?
Well, they recognized the commercial benefits of promoting the arts, and artisans provided handicrafts such as tile making, pottery, textiles, bookbinding, painting, and calligraphy. And carpet weaving became a very well executed industry.
Alright, thanks for your time, Julia.
Back to you, Graham.
Thanks, Julia. Next, we have Laura Drobin, expert on the technological aspects of the Safavid Empire.
How did they apply their intellectual achievements?
The people of the Safavid Empire applied their intellectual achievements by transforming the city of Isfahan into one of the most beautiful cities of the world. Palaces, streets, bridges, and more were built. Royal painters painted the walls of huge palaces. Also, architects were ordered to build roads in the whole country. Inns were also constructed along these roads to make it easy for travelers. Other advancements included military.
Finally, we have Dionysia Kavaris here to talk to us about the religions and economy of the Safavid Empire.
Did religion play a major part in this society?
Well, Graham, the religion of the Safavid Empire was indeed a very important aspect of the empire. The early Safavid Empire was a theocracy, but over time, Shah Ismail decided to convert it to the form of Islam called Shihism.
Was it related to the government?
Shihism was indeed involved with the government in some ways. One way was that scholars were brought in from Shiite countries to form new religious elites. Officials were appointed to watch and make sure that the scholars were doing their jobs properly. Over time, the religious leaders became an effective part of the government.
Were conquered people forced to convert?
Yes, conquered people were in fact forced to convert. A campaign started in order to convert the Sunni population by persuasion or by force to make Shihism the new religion.
What was the economy like in the Safavid Empire?
Well, the economy of the Safavid Empire was mostly based on trading. Some exports were horses, pearls, and an inedible bitter almond, and some imports were spices, textiles, metals, coffee, and sugar. The Safavid Empire basically benefited greatly from their geographic location because they were in the middle of the Silk Road, which helped tremendously with the economy.
Thanks for your time.
No problem.
Before we talk about the political aspects of the Safavid Empire, here's a map to understand where exactly the Safavid Empire was located and the timeline of the Shahs. When the Abbas became Shah, the Safavid government was a strong, centralized government that made the military strong and able to acquire modern gunpowder weapons. Here is a timeline of events for the Safavid Empire, founded in 1501 and officially ended in 1736. And now, News Channel 13 presents a special edition of Important People of the Day, News Channel 13, Education First. Our first important person of the day is Shah Ismail, the founding Shah of the Safavid Empire. Our second important person of the day is Shah Abbas, a leader known for his military skills and his diplomacy with Europe. Our third and final important person of the day is Nadir Shah, a leader who was once an escaped slave that conducted many religious reforms. Well, that's all we have for today. Thanks for watching, and tune in next week to News Channel 13 On Demand.